What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And if you are, be sure to press the like button. Otherwise, no joke, no scam whatsoever. I will be forced to take you and make you into a cringe lord. Yeah, that's right. We're gonna go to Kohl's and get some of those shirts that say "Will sell my sisters for video games," and then I'm gonna make you go talk to your crush. So press the like button. Real talk though, guys. Today we're gonna be talking about a cringe lord. It's been a little bit since I've just talked about a cringy kid on the channel, but you know we had to bring it back, okay? The story times have been banging lately. Not in views, but I've been having more fun, and that's all that matters. So, yeah, we're gonna be getting into it, and without further ado, let's go.
Or just to celebrate. it's okay, it's not good. Nice rack in her ass Brazilian. Just turned 21, but my bank's a million. Swear I'm a little drunk, but it's a hell of a feeling.
Anyways, this story is about a kid that I worked at the movie theater with. I'm gonna call him Clevin for this story because that's a good name for weird people. I know I've used it before, I don't care. Anyways, he was this kid that I worked at the movie theater with who I legitimately thought that he lived in an anime. Like, I'm not kidding when I legit think he thought he was the main character in a new season of Naruto. He would run from theater to theater while we were cleaning them, or like, he would just, talk really weird to people in concessions. Is that all the popcorn you would require for this quest? Like, stuff like that. I'm not kidding. He would talk like that. Whenever we were cleaning theaters, we had these little brooms that we would carry with us, and he would carry it like a katana running from theater to theater. He was just a weird dude. And the katana stuff, the anime stuff, thinking he was like a superhero, that stuff was pretty entertaining, If he was like a really nice guy, that would have been fantastic. Having somebody around who thinks they're a superhero is great. Anytime this place gets robbed, I don't have to do anything, bro. Like, Clevin over here is just gonna clothesline the dude. And as entertaining as it was, the real problem with this kid came in the fact that he was an absolute jerk, dude. Like, the most unbearable person to spend any amount of time with at all. Like, if you were a super dope dude speed running everywhere with a fake katana, I guess I could get over it. But this guy was a total know-it-all. And, like, that's annoying enough, right? Somebody who's a know-it-all is annoying. They're always throwing in their opinion when you don't want it. They're always just being nosy. It's annoying to be around a know-it-all. But what made Clevin worse to me was that, like, he was always wrong. He was a know-it-all, but he wasn't, like, actually smart enough to be a know-it-all. You know what I mean? So he would jump in every conversation and just constantly give advice on stuff that he knew absolutely nothing about. The biggest example of this that I can tell you, which will let you know just how stubborn this dude is. We live in Las Vegas, okay? I grew up in Las Vegas. We have tortoises. They're very common. They're a desert animal, Well, one day, I don't know how it got brought up. I don't know if Nemo 2 had just come out, but we were talking about Crush the turtle from Nemo, the surfer guy. And he looks at me and goes, Crush is a tortoise. And I say, no, tortoises don't live in the water. Tortoises live on land. Crush is a turtle. Which, like, this is not anything to argue over, right? There's no reason that this should spur into an argument. But also, I'm just not wrong. Crush is a turtle. He's not a tortoise because tortoises don't live in the ocean. And the dude just starts arguing with me about how I'm wrong and I'm gonna look stupid because everybody knows that tortoises are the ones that live in the water, and like, I'm probably just really uneducated. He would just insult you, dude. He would call you stupid when he was wrong, and it just bugged me. So I whip out my phone and I start like Googling everything. So finally I find evidence that tortoises live on land because they do. And he starts being like, wow, I don't believe in your source, bruh, because I used Wikipedia. He's like, oh yeah, I don't trust Wikipedia. I'm like, dude, tortoises just don't live in the water, man. Like, they just don't. And for the rest of the 8-hour shift, any chance he got, he would like condescend me and talk down to me as if I was stupid for believing that tortoises don't live in the ocean. Like, that's the type of person that Clevin was. Working with him was genuinely like one of the worst experiences ever, because he would just disappear all the time too. Like, when he was around you, he was just constantly complaining or like arguing with you about stuff that doesn't matter, like tortoises living in the ocean. And the reason you would get so invested in these arguments is because he would degrade you. Like, here's this Clevin dude calling you an idiot for saying that tortoises don't live in the ocean. It's hard not to get defensive and pissed off when you're not the dumb one. But on top of that, whenever like we would actually be doing work, if he didn't feel like cleaning, if the anime show he was living in his head didn't require any cleaning for the day, he would just disappear. Like, we wouldn't be able to find him. And then out of nowhere, we started realizing that he was going into like the supply closet, the janitor closet, and was quote unquote meditating, you know, because he thought it like made him look mysterious to everybody else. And I'm using quote unquote meditating because if you opened the door, he would like immediately drop his phone and go into a meditating pose. But he was just sitting in the closet on his phone, but like didn't want people to know that for some reason, you know, he had to be edgy and mysterious and be meditating in the closet because that's so much better. I feel like if I checked the closet and my coworker was on their phone and was like, sorry, I'm texting my girlfriend, that's way less weird than opening it and seeing like a wannabe Yoda trying to lift himself off the ground with his force energy. The dude was just lazy but couldn't admit he was lazy and would try to cover it up with like some BS anime story. And the weirdest part about his commitment to like this idea that he was an anime character that needed to meditate at work is he was like a fat white kid. He's not a ninja, dude. Like this guy trying to sneak around, you would hear him from a mile away. Whenever he would eat, it looked like a rendition of Hungry Hungry Hippos, okay? Oh my gosh, Ryan, stop making fun of him. No, okay? The amount of times that this guy told me that tortoises live in the ocean, I don't feel bad. If you say something that stupid, all bets are off, Clevin. So he's an awful coworker. He thinks he's in an anime. He's always disappearing. You might be asking, like, how does this get worse? How does this Clevin guy get any more unbearable to work with? Well, on top of just disappearing and being just not fun to be around because he's a know-it-all who's always wrong, he always talked in this, like, anime voice. I don't know if it's an anime voice, but, like, in a main character voice, I guess, just very loudly and like, "Ahaha, you have awoken my final form." You know, but for everything, not just for anime phrases. Like, we need to clean the next theater. Like, it was just so unnecessary and loud, and we're in theaters, so it's quiet. Like, out of nowhere, you're just sweeping up some popcorn. We need to move on to the next theater. Like, it was so unnecessary. But whenever you do that, if you go ahead and practice, like, forcing your voice like that, your breath comes out of your mouth a little bit more. You know, it kind of leaks out. And I know leaks is a very weird word to use for somebody's breath. Like, leaking sounds like something awful. You know, things don't leak that are good. And that's because I swear to God, this kid had to have had a chemical plant that had malfunctioned in his mouth and it exploded and filled in with raw sewage because this dude's breath smelled like straight butthole. And the worst part is, dude, I don't know if his mom taught him this or what, but like he always stood really, really close to you when he would talk. And he would do that yelling thing, so the breath was always getting blasted at you. And the breath was so bad. You ever smell a smell so bad that like your face starts to sweat? Like cutting onions almost? That's what it would feel like when his breath would like wash over you. Opening the door on a hot summer day and like all that hot air hitting you. That's what him talking to you felt like. But on top of that, just some rotten egg dog poop smell in there too. Maybe he was like eating some dog poo. I don't know. So if you're keeping track, dude, he's annoying. He thinks he's in anime. His breath stinks. But beyond that, something else he did is he thought every single girl that we worked with was like obsessed with him and wanted to date him. Keep in mind, Clevin probably looks like, okay, he could cosplay as Peter Griffin and it would be pretty good naturally, you know? And I know looks aren't everything, but let's keep in mind that he is also a weeaboo with horrible breath. So he would like be so weird with the girls we worked with, dude. He would ask them questions. He'd be like, oh, if we ever went on a date and I brought you flowers, you know, what type of flowers would you want me to bring? And they'd be like, well, we're just friends who work together, so I don't really want to answer that question, you know? And he'd be like, oh, sure you don't. I see the way you look at me when we're cleaning theaters. Like, bruh, everybody looks at you like that because you're constantly screaming in an anime voice. Clevin, dude, I do not miss working with him at all. On my last day, before I left the theater, I remember he walked up to me and he's like, I'm not gonna miss you, because me and him just didn't get along. I kind of have a problem keeping my mouth shut when I find something cringy, and this dude just oozed cringe, so we did not get along very well. And I looked at him and I was like, you know what, Clevin, I'm not gonna miss you either, and if I can give you one piece of advice in all honesty, and if you've watched my channel for a while, you know that like usually I'm pretty live and let live unless somebody really deserves it. I was like, please, brush your teeth. You look like you have Shrek's mouth. It is disgusting. Your breath is rancid. And you can call that mean, you can call that unnecessary, but I call that genuinely good life advice, because there was no way this dude was ever going to get a job or a girlfriend with that nasty, mangled, dead cat smell he had in his mouth. But yeah, on that note, guys, that is going to be the story of my coworker, Clevin. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, I would really appreciate you pressing the like button, letting me know in the comments section down below what you thought of the video. If you like the intro song, a link will be down below as well. You guys can go ahead and check it out. Get yourself some of the OG Sub Club merch. Follow me on Twitter at Scrubby_69. My Instagram is just at Scrubby. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys all tomorrow with another video. Don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot. And if you're gonna subscribe, you might as well turn on those notifications because YouTube hates notifying anyone about anything these days. But yeah, on that note, thank you all so much for the support. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you guys all have an absolutely incredible day. I will see you all tomorrow with another video, and on that note, I'm out. Peace.